Hello, hello. This is Kelly on the Reel. I'm here with Johnny Ray Gibbs, and I'm really excited to have Johnny. We've gone into some pretty crazy details with everything he's been through his life, and we touched on a little bit, but we're going to go pretty deep, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
So Johnny is an excellent actor. He has worked in many films. You can check out his IMDb. He's got a crazy amount of credits, which is really impressive. He's worked on Queen of the South, Jericho Road. That's going to be coming out soon, so we're excited to touch base on that. Jericho Road's going to be releasing in January. So, do you know the date of that?
January 23rd.
January 23rd.
And it's pronounced Jericho Road.
Eureka, thank you.
Mispronounce it. Jericho Road.
Eureka, yeah, I don't even know my. So, Eureka Road, and I'm so glad he told me because I've heard it, Jerica and a silent J. So, yeah, Eureka Road, that makes sense. So we're excited. Don Nicolo actually is one of the guys he's the director, am I right?
That's right.
Okay, so he's the director of Eureka Road, and we had that topic a month ago, and it was incredible. He actually went into great detail about Eureka Road and things that are going to be coming and following Eureka Road. So we talked on that, and Johnny here is like an A-list on that movie. I was honored, and I got to work with him a little bit behind the scenes, and I did some bartending scenes with him, but I mean, this guy is incredible, and I'm just really excited to share his story and just everything that he's about, and what brought you to acting.
First of all, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You're always welcome.
Well, I mean, it goes back a long way, back to 1983.
Wow.
Actually, I was 17 years old. My father passed away. I'm from Atlanta originally, by the way.
I didn't know that.
And I left home with some friends. We moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And one day we were just sitting on the beach hanging out, like we did every day, most of the days.
Yeah.
And these producers came to us, and we didn't have social media back then. So,
Right.
And a way to reach out to people, hey, you want to be in a movie?
Right.
They
That
actually
was a
came
good
out.
day.
Absolutely. So these producers came up to us. We were sitting on the beach, just having a good time. Hey, you guys want to be in a movie? Yeah. Well, we can't pay you anything, but we'll give you all the beer and pizza you want. And I was, yeah! I was going to spend that money on beer and pizza.
Right,
anyway. And that
absolutely.
movie was Spring Break, by the way. We got to be Spring Break students,
Oh, okay,
and
that's
we got
cool.
to hang out and watch the action, and and I fell in love with acting after that.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're gonna know this is a crazy story, but one of my neighbors growing up in Atlanta was Eric Roberts,
Oh, wow.
brother
Okay.
to Julia Roberts. A lot of
Right.
people
Yes.
don't know that. Who's Eric Roberts?
Julia Roberts.
If you don't know who Eric Roberts is, you can't be my friend. Because let me tell you, I knew
That's
Eric
really
and
cool.
Julia both. I knew Julia when I was
Really?
about 11 years old.
Oh, I love her. I love her.
And Eric was my neighbor. I don't know the situation with the family or
Mhm.
anything, but Eric was my neighbor, and and he actually tossed football with me in my front yard on his way to school. He's a little older than me, but he was a nice guy. And my sister called me in the living room one day, and we were watching. I think she was watching that movie King of the Gypsies
Okay.
with Eric Roberts, and she said, "Johnny, come look at this." So I saw my neighbor on TV, and I was like, "I want to be an actor."
Did you not know
Eric.
before that?
I didn't know what.
That he was an actor before that?
No,
Or-
I didn't. I
Oh,
did not know
really?
Eric was an actor.
Wow.
I think that's one of his first movies he made.
Oh, okay.
Was,
Okay.
Either the Coca-Cola Kid or King of the Gypsies, but Eric's been my idol ever since.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another crazy story as we
Okay,
go along.
perfect. I love stories.
Anyway, so after spring break, I think it was the following year, they did Where the Boys Are. Not, of course they made 3 of those movies.
Yeah.
1984, and again we got to, be spring break students. It was more background roles.
Okay.
So I kind of fell in love with acting. Did a few MTV videos in Fort Lauderdale. and just fell in love with it. And then here come 85 and 86 for the MTV videos. In 1988, I had a serious car wreck. It
Okay.
kind of sidelined everything for me.
So you were what age by then?
I was
22?
19.
19, okay.
I was fixing to be 20
Okay.
at that time. It was bad. I almost died.
Wow.
And you can see my tracheotomy that I have
Okay.
right here.
Yeah.
And I struggled for a long time after that, and I was actually in a coma.
Wow.
And I've had all these wild, crazy dreams, vivid dreams while I was in a coma. I don't know if they kept me drug induced or whatever, but I actually had a dream that I was a movie star.
Wow.
And I had a beautiful wife and beautiful children.
Wow.
And and I'm telling myself today that if I'm still in that coma, don't wake me up.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
Wow.
I got a beautiful wife, beautiful children, and I'm actually making movies. And
Yeah.
So
Still.
if this is still that dream that I'm having, if I'm still in that coma, don't wake me up.
Wow. That's
First
incredible because I have a little thing, and I'll just share real briefly. I had something similar happen to me, but I was only out for a period of 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
But it was just glimpses of things from what actually later I found out was in the Bible. And I talked to Don a little bit about it, but it was glimpses, and I didn't understand it until years and years later. So there's actually a film that I want to do about that and what he showed me, and it's pretty crazy, pretty
Wow.
bizarre,
I'd like
but
to be a part of that.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, go ahead with your story. I mean, that's so we're talking about a young guy who has an incredible life, being on the beach, doing amazing things, doing behind the scenes, MTV, all kinds of things, and at the age of about 20, he ends up in a car accident and goes into coma. And how long were you in coma?
A good month and a half.
Wow. And so the visuals that he got were actually realistic, and they're part of your life today. You could say your beautiful wife,
Absolutely.
your acting, your family.
Here's a true part of that. The nurses took really good care of me. And I told the nurses, I'm going to marry me a nurse someday.
Uh-huh.
When I got out of there, and I was recuperating in Atlanta with my mom, and I ended up coming to Houston. That's another story. Back in 1989, just a couple of years later, I met my wife, and she was just graduating from nursing school.
Oh my gosh.
So my wife is a nurse practitioner.
Really?
Right, and we have
All
three
right.
beautiful children and one granddaughter.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
You
I'm
have
telling
a
you,
beautiful wife?
it was like meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So a whole month. And I was trying to wrap my head around that, just thinking about it earlier. And I was thinking about, a month that you have no idea what's going on. You wake up and, it's been a time lapse. And I was thinking about the people that go under for a year,
wow.
for
I
a
can
long
imagine.
time. And, you just don't know. You don't know what's going on. And so you come out of that, in a month, and you end up moving to Houston, and you end up getting married to your wife, who I have the honor to meet. She's so I just want to say thank you for joining me, and you're bringing your wife. I mean, she's absolutely beautiful. So you are very blessed.
I am blessed.
You are very blessed. And so I was going through all of Johnny's social media and looking at all his credits. And this is a guy that went from background acting, picked up off the beach, to, I want to say you have at least 30 films out that I was looking at. I mean, and I didn't realize that. Working with you, I didn't realize you had so many films out. And so it was just neat because I watched Queen of the South.
Worked on with him. The first one was called The Demonic Dead. And believe it or not, Eric Roberts was in that movie with me, and I got to meet him after all these years.
Oh.
And we shared some stories, and it was just really crazy, the commonality that him
Yeah.
and I have together, because even though he's 10 years older than me, we were both neighbors, We both went to the same high school, Henry Grady High School in Atlanta. We're both Aries. My birthday's April 14th. He's April the 18th. And we were both in serious car wrecks.
Oh my God.
Eric had a car wreck, I think it was in 1983 when I was just getting started in my acting.
Mhm.
And he was actually in a coma himself. I thought
Wow.
That was crazy.
Wow, that's really crazy. That's
It is.
bizarre.
And I shared that story with him, and he just couldn't believe it. But anyway,
You
we
guys
were,
need to make a book or something. You need to do something with that. I mean,
well,
that's
it's crazy how I got back into acting. Actually,
Yeah.
it was actually social media that got me back into it. You know, I was sharing my poems that I wrote. I wrote a book called Restless Heart. It's a poem book based on you know my experience I have with my wife here. I
Okay.
wrote a book called Restless Hearts, and it's out there. It's published. And I started sharing some of those poems on social media, particularly one called The Cowboy and the Brown-Eyed Saloon Girl.
okay.
So a director reached out to me and said, I like that poem, you know, that's what I want to use for my storyline. And that movie's called Destiny, which will happen pretty soon. We shot a proof of concept short film.
Wow.
John Pacino is actually the director of that one, and I had a lot of fun shooting that
Wow.
proof of concept.
So you've got a lot of things going on. Not only that, but Johnny is an amazing singer.
Oh no! I'm not a singer.
You're not a singer.
I'm a
Good guitar-
songwriter, but not a
songwriter.
singer. I sing in
But
the
you
shower.
do sing. You're
I sing
right.
in the shower.
You don't sing,
No, I don't sing. I can't sing if I want to.
but
you know,
you are
I'm a
songwriter.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can look at my songs on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. I was like,
Yes.
I know I've seen your
Yeah,
music
I
on
have.
YouTube. I know I have, and that was
The
months
only
ago.
one I sing to is my wife.
I say that all the time because you know.
But that's okay. A lot of people get mixed up about that because they see my songs on
Yeah,
YouTube.
on
and
YouTube.
I'm just a songwriter.
Okay, a
I think with
songwriter.
my voice, you don't want to hear me sing.
But you know
But I love
what?
writing.
With technology now and the things they do, it's amazing what they can
They
do
can make my
with the
voice sing.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit
I
better.
thought it was. Somebody actually approached me and he was like, "Do you want to write music?" I was like, "Write music? I don't know how to write music." And he was like, "All you got to do is think of like 7 things, you know, and put them down in paragraph form." And I was like, easy enough. He was like, "That's all you have to do. Then it's repetitive." And I said, "Okay." He goes, "And I can work with your voice." And I was like, "What do you mean work with my voice? Like, I can't sing. I'm telling you, I can't sing." And he
Well,
was
you got a
like,
great radio
"No."
voice.
Yeah, thank you. He was like, "No, you can sing. I just haven't tweaked your voice." And I was like, "Oh, no." I was like, "I'm not trying to be Milli Vanilli here." So, yeah, that was kind of funny. But I said, I'm not, I am, my legal name actually is Kelly Clarkson. So I don't go by that. As you know, I go by Rodella just because of the craziness with Kelly Clarkson. And every time I would say my name, it was like, "Oh, you know, are you this?" No, I'm not. I got so tired of hearing it. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with the name. Like, she is a beautiful person. She has an amazing voice, but it is definitely not me. So, but yeah. So I love your stories. And what I got out of it is the strength and just the desire and the will that you have to keep going every single day and to put forth the efforts and to go after your dream. And, you know, I always tell people, you know, to me, you can either act or you can't. It's not really something that I don't feel like it can be really taught. Because a lot of people cannot catch things on the fly. You know, it just doesn't happen. Everybody has a skill. Everybody's born to do something. I've watched you act. I love your acting.
Thank you.
And so when you said, you know, live is a little different, to me, maybe I'm just used to it. I don't know, but everybody's different. And so I just tell people, just, you know, it's just me. Talk to me. I'm just a person, and we are definitely going to have fun with the show. And I just, you know, I tell people just, it's fine. I'm a really chill person, and I just like to have fun. I like to talk to people. I like to dig in your story. I like to know what makes you you. What is behind Johnny, and what makes Johnny go. So
Johnny, go.
Go Johnny, go. That's it. Go Johnny, go. And I see the crowd. You know, Chaz Taylor is one of your buddies that you work with.
I love
You and Chaz. So it is really a pleasure and so much fun working with you guys.
You know, speaking of Chaz, I used to watch him and his father wrestle when I was younger. They're professional wrestlers.
Yeah, yeah.
His father was Tugboat Taylor.
Tugboat.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites. And when I met Chaz, I'm like, wait a minute, Chaz Taylor. you look like a wrestler, you know, that I watch on TV, you know. And it was him. I watched him and his father, and they're great guys. And sorry that Chaz's father passed away, I think maybe almost 2 years ago. And it was, you know, it was kind of
just
sad.
recently.
You're right. It was during the filming of Eureka Road, actually. And
really?
It was hard on him. But he came through real strong, and he finished, and you know, just an amazing person.
He is. Chaz has that character. He's just, he's got that loud, rambunctious, just like fun, everybody, you know, and I love Chaz. The whole group, who is Coach Carl Bailey.
Carl Bailey, yeah.
That's another one.
I love working with him. I'm in like 7 projects with him.
Really?
I got to think of which ones right off the hand because we've been doing so much. Carl has like over 100 credits. He's an amazing actor.
Wow.
One of my mentors on set too.
Yeah, yeah. He's a really cool guy.
Yes,
he really is. And he lives in Dallas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then 2 more actually, 3 of them that are in Eureka Road live in Dallas.
Okay.
Craig Whitford, who's also an ex-pro wrestler. And,
I didn't know that.
Mike Scanlon.
Okay.
And this is it was his second project, but he did amazing. I mean, it's going to be a great movie.
It is.
Eureka Road.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, it's playing. We're going to make our red carpet debut January 23rd, 2020, in Houston, Texas, at the River Oaks Theater. And you can purchase your tickets online at Eventbrite.
Right.
Or you can get them there on site.
Absolutely. You know. And so Eureka Road, just tell us a little bit about that, because I mean, I've said a little bit, but you know, and Don has, but just to refresh, because 2020 is right around the corner. So it's good to touch a little bit on that and let people know, like, go out and get a ticket, because this movie is starting in Houston, but it's moving to Dallas,
Dallas,
Atlanta.
and Austin, and Atlanta.
Okay.
And from there, we're going to hit the film festivals. And,
nice.
And from there, distribution.
I'm so excited about that. That's really exciting. So Eureka Road, I can give you a little bit a scoop. I won't give you more than Don did because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's about a guy, and he kind of gets lost, him and his daughter, on the back road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to like go play by play with Don. Thankfully, I do acting because this, you know, it gets a little hard. But he ends up getting lost, and tell the rest.
Well, it's one of the hardest roles that I played. I had to play a racist biker, you know. And I really didn't want to do that at first because I'm far from that,
right,
you know.
Right.
And but Don had a good talk with me. He goes, Johnny, let's go out there and show the world how ugly racism is.
Right.
And I said, you know, you're right, Don. I said, we can't let people forget all the crap that goes on in the world. And you know, to me, racism is a disease.
Yeah.
It needs to be eradicated.
Right.
It really is. And I just, you know, this is one of those movies. It's full of drama. It's, you know, and just heart-wrenching. You know, it's got its moments.
And the baby.
Going back and look at some of the footage, actually, every time I see this one scene of the little girl, you know, it brings tears to my eyes. I'm not going to say any more than that.
Yeah.
You got to come see the movie.
You got to come and see that, and that's going to be in Houston, and we're excited about that one. That's going to be really good. There's a lot of great actors. Johnny is an incredible actor. What projects do you actually have? I know you have your own film that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to be, you know, that's another story. I wrote my first screenplay called Old Man Jackson. It's a comedy film, you know.
Oh, really?
Family-friendly comedy.
Okay.
And, you know, for 2 years I've been trying to get it under wraps. And, you know, I had everything in order. The actors coming in from LA, you know, just the whole thing was ready to go. The day before we were to start filming, my wife's brother passed away.
Wow.
And it was rough. I had to make a decision fast because I was directing the movie.
Right.
So, you know, he was in Mexico, so I had to send her and my daughters down to Mexico. And I had to make a decision, and we decided I should stay here and start it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard, first day, you know. We ended up, anyway, 3 months later my mom got sick, you know, and
Wow.
she passed away. It was a bad time.
Yeah.
So I put it on the back burner.
It just wasn't at the right time.
Yeah, it wasn't the right time. Yeah. And now we're regrouping and we're going to start filming 2020. 2020 is going to be a great year.
It is.
Lots of good stuff coming up.
It is. And
I don't want to talk about the sad parts.
No,
things
yeah.
that happen. I want to move forward, and those people that we lost, and they encouraged me. And
let me just say, I lost my brother this past year too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was, but here's the way I kind of look at life. We hit bumps in the road and things happen. You know, we lose our loved ones, which to me, you know, a lot of people may think it's weird, but to me, I'm like, you know, I don't get to see them, but I kind of look at like they're on this amazing vacation that I am, you know, that one day I will be too. And so that's kind of how I look at life. And, you know, I have a sister who just cannot handle things like that. And I tell her, you know, why? You know, they're at peace. What, you know, it was hard. You know, my brother went through hell and he had a hard life. Like, he's enjoying life. You know, he couldn't wait to get to the other side, you know, and that's one thing is like, he told me even, you know, in December, he passed in April, and he was like, I can't wait to go. And like he knew. He was hit head on by a guy that was under the influence of like a heroin, and he had been on drugs, and he fell asleep at the wheel, crossed over a couple of lanes, and hit head on, and ended up killing him and his girlfriend that was driving, both of them.
Tragedy.
It was, and he left my niece. Well, he had one child. He had never been married. But when after all the times I think about, you know, the conversations that I had with him, I can almost think that he was excited to just, you know, be free of pain and everything. And I think, you know, this guy, he already knew he was going home. He knew, like, he had given me so many hints and told me so many times in the last year before, and he was being prepared. And so that's why I look at it. And you know, it was hard because he is my blood, he is my brother, but then again, I'm just like, you know, I love you, and I will see you again, you know?
It's rough losing a sibling.
Yeah.
I lost one of my sisters.
That was my second
about
sibling.
8 years ago, and it's really rough losing a sibling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a parent, you know, I mean, but it's siblings, it's very hard.
It is, because I was closer to my brother than anyone, because my
same way with my sister. The one you're closest to, you know.
That's the one, and my sister actually passed before him.
Oh.
So I've got one sister, you know, and myself left, but my sister and then him, and it's just like the first one, you know, when my sister passed many years ago, it was, both of them were unexpected, but I think to me it was much harder on my mom the first time, and you know, it was very hard. And so those are things that I just try to live each and every day. And just every morning when I wake up, I tell her, hey, I love you. You know, I hope you have an amazing day. I say my prayer before, you know, when I get up, when I go to bed, ask for forgiveness for my sins throughout the day, and that's how I live my life. But you know, it's one of those things, and some people have a really hard time with it, and I understand, I do, and it's not like I'm heartless or anything like that. I think I view things a lot differently because I have lived like you through so many trials in my life that it makes you strong. Trials and tribulations, and it does make you strong. It gives you a different approach about things. I have stepping stones, and I look at those stepping stones through my life. I've been homeless. I've been, through so much, and I think about all those things and where I was before and where I am now, and all the great things that as you have accomplished. And it's incredible. It really is, that the strength and the power within ourselves, that we can do so much. And so that's why I love to hear your story, and just going into that for a month and coming out and just doing, slam dunk after slam dunk, doing all these amazing films and being able to show people what you're doing and how you're helping other people. And so that's how we got to look at it.
Absolutely. It has been quite a journey for me. And let me remind you, after my car wreck left me homeless, so I know what it's like to be homeless.
Okay.
When I came here in 1989, didn't know anybody, didn't know where I was going. Something just told me, go to Texas, go to Houston. And I knew I had to be there. They call Texas the land of opportunity.
That's right.
And opportunity I had, So I struggled along the way. I lost some of my hearing in the accident, and sometimes it's hard for me to get it out, but I'm looking forward to 2020,
Yeah.
My 3 daughters are older now. It gives me a little bit more free time.
How old are your daughters?
Brittany is, I may be a little wrong in the age. I think Brittany is 25, maybe, and Brandy is 23, and Bailey, she's in her senior.
Bailey, and Brandy.
Yeah,
So you got
BG girls.
BG, there you go.
Bailey is in her senior year of high school.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
So, I've got more free time now, but I'm enjoying my granddaughter. I'm going to take the time to enjoy her. Her name is Riley Ray.
Riley Ray.
Oh,
after
named
you.
after me. That's
Oh, my
right.
gosh, that's cute.
Oh, and she has her part in Eureka Road. She plays the abandoned baby. When you see this movie, you're going to see the abandoned baby. That is my granddaughter.
I didn't know that. How did you know
Thanks
there
for
was an
reminding
abandoned
me.
baby?
I'm not saying anymore.
No, I have to watch this. I'm so excited to watch this film. I've told people about it. I'm like, this is going to be a really amazing film. It really is.
I don't know how some people are going to take it. It's kind of controversial in some ways, but it's also realistic.
We live in a realistic. We live in a cold cut world. That's what it is. We need, and truth be told,
you got to be able to play those characters.
You have to be. You have to, and that's why I say. I am so glad, and I've been through so much, but I am thankful for my addictions, for things that I've gone through in my past, because I feel like it has really helped me in the acting sense to where I can play all kinds of parts.
Absolutely,
and it really has helped me, like the bartender scene. I was a bartender for so long, so it's easy for me to juggle up some cups and pour some drinks. With drugs, alcohol, mafia stuff. All kinds of crazy stuff that I've lived in my own life and own experiences, and I can play those parts. And so, like you, I know you've been through a lot of stuff, and it does help. It does. And so, I know you went through some things yourself with, you said, the addiction or drinking or something.
Yeah, I used to, that's what really caused my accident.
Okay.
I went to a bar that night, Penrod's on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. I didn't think I had too much to drink that night. I honestly think somebody spiked my drink.
Oh.
I was driving home on Sunrise Boulevard, and I fell asleep at the wheel.
Wow.
And I still got that police report today. After my mom passed away, I went through a box of stuff, and I found the police report from 1988.
Wow.
And it said that I hit 5 palm trees. I bounced off like a pinball machine, it was crazy. How could somebody, I hit a pole, then bounced off, hit 5 palm trees, and wrapped my car. It was a 1972 Mach 2 Mustang around another pole. How was that possible?
How are you? Yeah,
I was banged up pretty bad. I was dead. They brought me back. They had to give me a tracheotomy right there on site. A paramedic actually saved my life.
Wow.
I'm still trying to find that guy today.
Really? So
I
if
can
you're
thank him for
out
saving my
there
life.
and you know Johnny's story and you know who he is, and this happened in Florida?
In Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, and you're the one from 1980.
1988.
88. Please, Johnny would love to say thank you and to be able to just show him all the amazing things that he's done. Without that guy, you wouldn't be here. You may not be here.
I could still be in the coma.
Exactly, absolutely. And so, yeah, he would love to say thank you and just, I would love for you to see the progress that Johnny's made and all the amazing things that he's done in his life and the beautiful family that he's raised. And so you have an incredible story, and it's really heartfelt. I don't ever cry on shows or anything, but you are really bringing some tears to me, so I'm going to try to be strong, but I love your story. And so what are you doing? Have you been able to reach out and help or go out into communities? Have you done that for other people, or is it something you want to do in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first came here, I didn't have anywhere to go. I went to the Covenant House. Even though I was a little bit older, I lied about my age. I didn't have any idea.
That's all right.
I think I was, you know what? I think I was at the right age. I think the 20 and 21 and over, you couldn't get in over 21 or something. But anyway, they helped a lot of young kids, and I stayed there for a while, and I just love everything about the Covenant House.
Yeah.
The way they help these young people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you can just, reach out and maybe make a contribution to the Covenant House.
To the Covenant House, and that's in Houston.
And yeah, that'll be a good thing,
Absolutely.
And I love working with young kids, and I do that whenever I go to the, by the way, I take acting classes just to brush up sometimes. I don't take too many of them, but I go to the Film Acting Academy in Houston.
Acting. Okay.
Lee Stringer is my
I was going to
instructor, and I like to work with those young kids that come in there. I like to play the uncle or the dad.
That's awesome.
I don't want to call myself, even though I'm a grandfather, I don't want to feel like I'm old enough to play that role yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Yep.
But either the older brother or the uncle, the dad. I like working with those young kids at the Film Acting Academy. It makes me feel good to see them,
thrive.
Yeah, strive.
Yeah, I mean, and because there's so many out there, they look up to you and they want to be like you. And going through your credits and things like that, you may not think like that, but it happens. And people are like, I want to be that guy.
Wow, just like I did Eric Roberts, huh?
Exactly.
I mean, I love it. If Eric can hear this right now, I love you, Eric. You're just amazing and one of a kind. And we know that Julia is your sister. And don't get me wrong, she makes great movies. And
She's beautiful.
And I've met her, a friend of mine shot her in the butt with a BB gun when we were 11 years old.
I've shot somebody in the butt with a BB gun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a true story. But anyway, Eric is amazing. He's underrated.
Wow.
This guy's made a lot of films. I encourage you to go back and look at some of his movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look him up.
Eric Roberts.
He's great.
Julia Roberts.
If you don't know Eric Roberts, you can't be my friend.
You don't know the acting industry, right? Yeah, we know Eric and Julia, absolutely. Absolutely. But you have to think of yourself like that now. That the way you looked at Eric,
I hope I can encourage some young people.
You are encouraging.
I'm looking forward to getting my stuff out there. Though we have so much in post production that has not came out there yet. I do have a couple of movies on Amazon Prime.
All of the stuff you've done too, and give yourself so much credit for everything you've done.
Well, thank you. Even if it never comes out, I've thought about the journey for me. Can I talk about a couple of things I'm doing in 2020? Right off the bat, we're doing a movie coming out called Forget About It.
Forget about it.
I know you mentioned you like mafia movies.
Yeah,
well, forget about it.
Yeah.
Conrad Glover and Tony Taylor are the writers. Tommy Bull, he's directing it. I've got Narco Sub coming out. That's going to be.
What is Forget About It about?
It's a mafia movie.
Okay,
it's going to be based on a true story. If you want to look up the synopsis, go on IMDb.
Okay.
If you can't find it because of the spelling, it's not spelled Forget About It.
Okay.
It's called Forget About It.
Forget About It. Okay. Right.
Just go under my name, Johnny Ray Gibbs, and look at my credits. You'll find Forget About It.
Okay.
And it'll give a synopsis of the story.
Nice.
I can't really talk about that project too much. That's going to be a big.
I'll watch it. I'll watch that one.
Thank you. And I've got a local project called Narco Sub. Sean Welland is the director.
Sean Welland.
And he's made quite a few films. It shows every year at the film festivals, and it's a really fun guy to work with. And of course, I'm excited about my Old Man Jackson that I'm looking to.
I'm excited about that one. That is definitely.
I might even ask you to come play a part.
I would love to play a part in Old Man Jackson. That would be ideal for me. I'm excited. You know, there is so many things, and you know, I look at 2020 and I'm thinking, I got this and that. Like you, there's so many things already lined up.
I'm gonna do as much as I can, but the more important thing is I'm gonna spend as much time as I can with my wife and my granddaughter and my kids.
Yeah.
That's number one in my life.
How do you like being a puppy?
Family first.
How do you like that?
How do I like what?
Being a puppy.
Grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
What do you think, grandpa
like
or puppy or?
Well, you know, she's
Pop-Pops.
only a year and a half. She's,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, okay. So
I'm trying to
she'll
get her
there.
to say
What do you want?
you know.
Pop Pops. I like Pop Pops. That's one of my favorite. Is Pop Pops. And I don't know why I've always called this little friend Pop Pops, and I just think it's such a cool name for a puppy. But yeah, Pop Pops is good. I like that one because, you know, yeah, and being a grandparent, when you, you know, having kids early or younger or whatever, and then you've got a beautiful family, you know you're doing a good job. You know that when your children start having children and they're doing an amazing job raising these children and you are so proud, you know you're doing something right.
I'm doing something.
And you're doing something right.
I can't do it without my better half, though.
That's right. No, of course not. And you'll get slapped yourself. Just kidding. No, and I love her. And she's actually played in, which film was that?
I had her play a couple of. She's been in a few of my movies as an extra.
Okay.
I love having her.
Of course.
I would take her to all of them if I could.
Aww.
You know. She was a.
Well, she's beautiful.
An extra. Yeah,
she's actually in one of the roles. I'll have production bring it up, but she's actually in one of the pictures there. So.
Yeah, that one's. Oh, that movie's called Showdown on the Brazos.
Showdown on the Brazos.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out this year.
Okay.
Somewhere.
So you've got like 7 at least, either in production
a lot of movies
or
coming
a
out.
lot of them. Wow.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of the director's last name, Bill.
We love you, Bill.
We love you, Bill.
Showdown
on the Brazos.
Showdown on the Brazos.
You know who you are. I can't think of his last name right now. I don't know why, but Bill, it's Showdown on the Brazos.
There we go.
It's a Western film. It was fun.
Okay.
I
think I was actually asked, was that somewhere around San Antonio, towards that direction?
Up in Blanco.
Blanco.
Yeah, Blanco.
I was
you know what?
actually
I'm just going to reach
asked.
over here real quick.
Yeah.
I would hate to.
No, I think you're right. I was asked to do that and I wish I could have. I was actually in Colorado at the time.
Bill Foster.
Bill Foster.
Yeah, sorry,
okay,
Bill.
We
I had
love
to think
you.
there for a minute. But Bill Foster he's great. He's got another good story behind him.
Really?
You should interview this guy.
Okay, Bill Foster.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm excited. Yeah, I was asked to do the Showdown on the Brazos. But I had just like literally got back from Colorado. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to be there really early on set. And I was like, "There's no way I can make it."
Oh wow!
And I kicked myself
Did you
because
drive?
I wanted to. Was driving.
Okay.
So I drove we drove back from Colorado, and then I would have had to pack up and go and be on set. I think it was like 7. So I was like, "There's no way in hell I can make that. There's no way." I mean. I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to have tried, but I had everybody
Sometimes
with
in these
me.
independent films, you don't get much sleep.
Yeah,
at all.
we didn't. I didn't mind not having sleep, but I didn't have, the time. Not even being home yet and everything. And I was like, damn, I really wanted that. But I apologized. I was like, please don't forget me because I love acting. Just like anybody else, I love it. It's just natural for you.
I just.
It's
when I was younger, it was meant to be for me.
Yeah.
It's just, but I'm making a journey. It's all about the journey.
Exactly. So let me ask you, when you get as an actor, are there certain things that you stumble with, like as far as having like a Skype interview or a face-to-face with the director, like putting you on the spot or any of that? Do you have any trouble in those particular areas?
Well, I think every actor
Okay.
has troubles, you know. I mean, nobody's perfect.
Right.
I actually worked on set of The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
I did a little background there, a little stand-in, G-man. I was a G-man. And I got to work with Woody and Kevin. I got my picture with them. I got to hang out with them. Woody's a trip, by the way.
Really?
Really fun to hang out with on set.
Crazy.
He likes to play his little tricks by running up to the PAs and turning their radios off, and they're trying to talk to another PA, and they can't hear you, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, even Kevin will mess his lines up. Everybody messes their lines up. That was one of my biggest things, trying to remember my dialogue.
Right.
If you have so much, especially on these indie films where you don't really have a script supervisor.
Right.
It's a struggle, it's a challenge. If you have a lot of, you go into a monologue or something and you try to remember your lines. I try to do a little, improv and say it one way.
Okay.
But sometimes for continuity reasons, you have to try to remember the same thing over, and it's a challenge.
It is. Yeah.
But I've gotten better at it. Exercise. That's why my
Muscle
acting
memory.
coach, Lee Stringers, told me, Johnny, that's why it's very important. You got to come to class for. It's like a baseball player. You can't just go up there and hit a home run. You're gonna have to practice.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That muscle
practice.
memory is.
I encourage to keep, if you go into class, keep going to class. Learning something. If you have to take a break, take a break.
Right.
But it's very important. I've taken quite a long break. I'm ready to come back and take some more refresher courses.
I need to do that as well. My issue is I have no problem going in and doing, some dialogue right there, if there's a male lead. But for some of the, I've had a female lead one time, and I make eye contact with people, and for some reason I had a really hard time because the whole time, she's looking down, and nothing against her, it wasn't nothing like that. It's just I had a hard time. I need to see what
you gotta have that chemistry when you're acting with another actor.
Yes, and I just couldn't. It was throwing me off so bad, and I was like, damn. And so I actually asked the director. I was like, can you come here and let me do this with you? And he was like, okay, that's fine. Boom, I nailed it. And I was like, what is it? Like I and I'm trying to struggle with that. That's something I'm struggling with. I don't have a problem, like you can tell me something on cue, I'm fine, I can act it out, do whatever, but it's that initial, the initial dialogue, and if they're trying to, it's like being on the spot. And that particular time, I was just like, I really screwed that up. And I screwed it up with her, and then the director guy, he was like, whoa, it was like, I don't know what happened. But it's things like that we stumble and we try to figure out what it is, and we keep going. I look at shows like The Middle, Queen of the South, all of those series back to back, and I'm like, how the hell do they remember all of it? Like,
practice. Queen of the South was fun to work on. I've been on the show 3 times.
Really?
They are coming out with season 5.
Get me on there.
I hope I get a call back to come and play. I was a detective on the last season 4, episode 13.
Well, damn, I'm going to have to go back and go through all those again so I can find you, because I watched all of them probably like 4 times, but I'm just so into
Well, I'm not a regular cast member. That's probably, but you go back and look, you'll see me on there.
Okay.
I loved it, and I hope I get a call back to come play on the show again.
That's awesome.
I'm still waiting on my big break. Even though I've been in a lot of stuff, I feel like I'm still in the minor league, and I'm waiting on that big break. And it could be Forget About It. It could be Narco Sub. These are going to be amazing films coming up.
Yeah.
It could be Eureka Road.
Let me tell you about the big break. Here's what I feel as an actor. When you get that first one and you've landed it, I feel like that's good, that you've hit a mark. And then you're like, okay, I got to make another goal.
Yeah, it's all about the journey, because you're right. There is no such thing as making it to the top.
Right, exactly.
What is the top?
It's imaginary. It really is an imaginary
platform. You got to make it a journey.
Yes.
And every project, make it count. And be nice to everybody on set.
Oh, absolutely.
I've worked with people, I'm not going to list some of these actors, but, you got to be nice to the little PAs. down to the people who bring you the food.
Mm-hmm.
I thank everybody on set. You know, I love working with everybody because
well, it gives you, I mean,
teamwork,
it's teamwork makes dream work, and that's why you get so many films.
And you know, Eureka Road, we had the most amazing cast and crew. You know, everybody came together. There's a huge story behind it.
I want to thank you for that. I really want to thank you. I never got the opportunity to thank you for just letting me know, hey, this is available. So I just really want to thank you for that one. That was really, really fun. But that's right. You just got to go. You got to be humble and you got to be nice. Even if you think, there's really no such, you have A-listers and things like that. But to me, this is what I was told. Somebody actually said, Kelly, there is no top. It is an imaginary built platform. And I was thinking about it and I was like, damn, that is so true. Everything is just media.
Some people can't handle that.
They cannot handle it.
You got to make it a journey.
Exactly.
That is my motto.
The stepping stone journey.
It's all about the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope, when I cross over to the other side, I hope my journey is, left an impact on some people.
Well, you have already. You have already just being here, telling your story, telling the world that you were out for a whole month and you didn't know if you were going to come out of it. You didn't have any knowledge. You didn't know at that moment when you had that wreck how bad it was until you read the police report.
It was bad. I talk about the broken bones. I broke 6 ribs.
Wow.
I broke my sternum. I broke my collarbone. I have a tracheotomy. I punctured my lung, and I ended up catching pneumonia as well, and it spread to both of my lungs, and I just didn't know if I was going to make it. I couldn't talk for almost a year.
Wow.
And you can tell by the raspiness of my voice.
Do I have that same raspiness? I feel like I do
know.
a little bit.
I hate my voice. Everybody hates their voice.
Well, I'll tell you why. In 2012, I actually had an incident where, and I won't go into it because I haven't really quite gotten over it, but I was attacked, and the doctor was like, you're not going to have your voice anymore. You're going to lose your voice.
You were attacked.
Yes, attacked. And I won't even go into detail. It was a really scary moment in my life, and I was like, I'm not going to have a voice anymore. Like, I wore the whole brace, a whole thing. It was a whole situation. So I didn't think I was going to have a voice anymore. I thought I was done. They were like, we don't know if you're going to have to, have voice lessons and do, all kinds of stuff. And it was a while before I started getting it back. And then I was like, well, there was my voice, and I was blessed with it again. And then a year and a half ago, I'm driving down the highway with my daughter, and I had bought this liquid. And it's like, the liquid that you pour on your jewelry to see if it's fake or real gold. I buy a lot of jewelry. So I bought this liquid, and it's like an acid, sulfuric acid in it, and some other some other stuff. Well, I bought it from China, and I had it in my car because I had went and looked at some jewelry. I put it on the jewelry that he was trying to sell me, and it ate the gold away. And I was like, okay, well, that's not real. I don't want it. Stuck it in my car, didn't think about it again. Me and my daughter driving in my Mustang, and in the middle of the highway going, I don't know if you're going south, going to Dallas, a little bit past that, through Turner Falls, in that area, and boom, I pick up the bottle thinking it was my eye drops. I thought it was, my eye drops because I get dry eyes. The second I hit it, it was the most excruciating pain I have ever felt in my life. I was like, I would give labor 10 times over with nothing than go through that pain again. But I squirted it in there, immediately went blind. And this, I was trying to overact for this one. So it burned, like it was just running inside of my nose. It started singeing. I don't drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of Diet Coke. That morning I had grabbed 2 bottles of water, and Bella was in the back seat, grabbed them, and I'm like slammed in park, jumping out in the freeway, squirting my eye. I'm just squirting the hell out of it. Got both bottles, and I managed to get it out enough to cross over the lanes on the other side. So I go and I drive another, I think it was like another hour and 30 minutes to get to an urgent care in Oklahoma City. So I go to urgent care and they're like, we don't know if you're going to be able to see out of the eye. And I'm like, oh my God. So they're putting all kinds of stuff. They rinse it out. They get everything. And I could see, but it was really like faint, very, very blurry. It was like I had a big haze. I ended up coming back to Houston, going back to the eye doctor here. And he was like, oh my God, he wanted me to actually get a hold of the company because the bottles were identical. I mean, the labeling, the labeling was different, but the bottle was identical to the eye drop bottle. And so, anyways, he treated me for a while, got my vision. After about a month and a half, my vision came fully back. I still have a lot of burning through here. It was still singed. I have to wear a concealer, things like that. But just to have my voice and my eyesight, I was like, holy crap, and then in January 2nd, I totaled my car, same damn highway, I totaled my car, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this has been the worst, but, I'm just like you. I'm thankful to be here, and I've been through hell. I really have. I've been through so much.
You have an amazing story.
Oh, yeah, it's just great, and I just want to help other people. I really want to help other people by sharing and bringing their stories and bringing light, because there are people in so many worse situations.
And a lot of these people, they want to get their story out.
They want to get it out. They need to get it out. It helps somebody. It helps build somebody else.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've learned throughout my life is I may have gone through hell, but I did it for someone else. I did it so I could help and be a light for another person. And so I would go through all that hell again if I could help somebody.
Wow.
So that's just the way I try to look at things. I try to be optimistic. Yeah, there's days where, you want to beat your head on the wall and you're like, oh my God, when is it going to stop? But there's way many good days, with your family and all the great things that you have going on in life. And you're here for a reason. I'm here for a reason, and we've got to get these stories. We have to get other people to share their stories to save their souls. And I strongly believe that. So I just want to thank you for sharing your story today and being able to get it out there. I mean, it's been incredible. Your journey is incredible.
Thank you.
And it takes a strong partner to be with someone and go through so many different journeys and be right by their side. So your wife is a very strong, beautiful woman.
Yes, she is. Very lucky to have her.
You are lucky.
Well, we've been together for a little over 25 years now.
Really? That's incredible in itself. 25 years. Wow. And see, that's like almost unheard of anymore. It really is.
I'm over the hard part now.
The hard. That the hard part, let me tell you, is 2.5 years. If you can get over 2.5 years, you can go through anything.
I think it's 10 or 15.
You think it's 10 or 15? I'm like 2.5 year mark. I've noticed every relationship, boom, at 2.5 bottoms out.
Well, I'll tell you what, she had to really get me out of a lot of bad habits I still had. I like to play cards. I don't play cards anymore.
I'll fit your card. You're
acting now.
You're acting
do a lot of
card.
Acting. Yeah, so,
Yeah. And then that's okay.
That's another story another time.
Yeah, the cards. I like to gamble. I'm thankful that Texas does not have gambling.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God. Because I've actually found the only casino in Texas. It's kind of by Conroe. Yeah, it's on an Indian reservation, and I've been there. And it's like an hour, 45 minutes, an hour for me.
I've never been there. That's the truth.
Yeah, you don't want to go there. I went there the first time, and actually my husband won like $700.
Did you walk away?
I wouldn't have.
It's very hard to walk away when you win money.
Yeah, it is. For me, I'm just like, just a little bit more.
A little bit more, and then a little bit more.
And then we're walking out the door. Do you still want to play? And I'm like, yeah, just take a little bit more out. And I'm like, why am I leaving? You know,
Very hard to walk away.
It is very hard.
They say that casinos were not built on winners.
Yeah,
They're
it's
built
true.
on losers.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's
You
like
can imagine the ratio of winning and losing.
Yeah, the ratio is like, I want to say it was 36-70 or whatever, something like that. My ex-mother-in-law, she told me one time, because she was like, you know, I worked at a casino in Oklahoma. I was a money counter. And she was like, she told me the ratio one time, and I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, you're doomed to lose in here. But you
gotta go have fun.
You do have to have fun. I went to Riverwind in Oklahoma City last weekend or the weekend before, and I played the penny machine, and I was like, I think it was like penny, and then I went to like the dollar. Well, I was ahead. Like, I was like, whoa, I way exceeded what I came in with. So I was like, why not lose it all?
You can't play to win. You got to play to have fun.
Yeah, you have to play to lose.
Well, I used to, because I haven't gambled in almost 2 years.
Oh, okay.
That was another bad habit I had, was gambling, you know.
Yeah.
You can't have a name like Johnny Ray and not be a gambler.
Can I tell you
something?
Man. My brother's name was Johnny Ray.
Really?
Yeah.
The one
Johnny
that passed
Ray.
away?
Yeah.
Are you
Johnny
serious?
Ray. No, I'm dead serious. So when I hear your name, I think of him, because I used to always sing him, "Are you Johnny Ray?" And
wow.
yeah, his name was Johnny Ray, and he actually, Johnny Ray Rodella, but yeah, he looked like you too, which is kind of weird. But
are you serious?
yeah,
You gotta
I'm not
show me
kidding.
pictures someday.
Yeah, I will. I'll find a picture.
This is the one that passed away.
Yes.
Right?
And yeah,
Wow.
in April. Yeah, Johnny Ray.
In April.
In April.
Yep. April's my birthday too. April 14th is my birthday.
It says April 7th.
His birthday is April 7th.
April 7th. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Hilarious.
it is Johnny Ray, and he was a hell of a guy. He really was.
I would have loved to have met him.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
I loved him. He was, we played Star Wars together. I always tell people I'm like a tomboy. I grew up playing Star Wars and Cars in the Dirt and boxing. I mean, we did all that stuff. That's what we did. We were closer than, me and my sister and my other sister. We were just closer. And I think it's because he went through a lot, with my dad and things like that. And we kind of stuck together. Even though we were awful and we went through awful things together, I still always had such a longing for him, and that was, I don't know. But, so I will definitely share his memory. His daughter, Dreama, beautiful girl. She's that was her dad, and she's going to be okay. But I'm just really proud of her. Dreama is 20. I want to say 22, something like that. She's in Vegas, somewhere around there. So she kind of took off and went over that way, and I'm like, oh, you go have fun. You just, enjoy life and know your dad, know your dad loves you. And
I know he's looking down on her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He is taking care of her, and she's going to be, she'll be okay. She's a good girl. But, we went through things, and, that's just life, though. It's family, it's life, and I say nowhere in the Bible does it ever say it's fair, because it's not. Nowhere does it say that it's going to be easy. Nothing. But we keep going, and we try to just do the very best we can. So
you're right. There's nothing easy. If it was, just like acting, everybody would be doing it.
Oh yeah.
Some people want to act to entertain, and some people like to watch the entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm on both sides of that. I love watching. Me and my wife watch movies every night on TV before we go to bed.
What are your favorites?
Well, I'm really mad right now at AT&T Xfinity because they cut my Turner Classic Movies off. I love Turner Classic Movies was my favorite. I love watching the old black and whites classic.
Okay, you like MASH?
MASH?
Yeah.
That was
MASH,
more of
or-
the 80s. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like
70s,
the
80s,
Army
80s.
military,
Yeah, I love MASH.
Okay, okay.
I watched the most shows, Andy Griffith.
Oh, Andy Griffith,
But
there
I'm
you
talking,
go.
I'm talking the 1930s and the 40s.
Oh, okay,
Old
okay.
black and white
Yeah.
movies that I used to like on Turner
Christmas
Classic.
Stories.
So one day well, Humphrey Bogart and the
Mhm.
likes. I liked, all them guys. Jimmy
Oh,
Stewart.
nice.
I used to watch those, and then I came home one day and turned my TV on and said, you're not subscribed to this channel. What they did was they bumped up my package without me knowing about it. And they want me to pay more money, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going down to the next Xfinity store as soon as I can and say, you give me my Turner Classic movie back.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That was my favorite station.
So can you find that on Hulu or Amazon?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay. Do you have?
We can find old movies, but we like to watch movies every night.
Oh, very nice.
One
Yeah.
night I'll pick one, and one night she'll pick one.
And what does she like?
I'm not a favorite of the Sam pick. That's my wife, Samara. So I call her Sam.
Samara. Her name's Samara.
Her name is Samara.
My daughter's name is Samara.
Really? So, how do you spell that?
Samayra.
Okay, hers is spelled Siomara.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't
Wow.
pronounce it too good, so
Samara.
they just called me Sam.
Yeah.
Just call me Sam.
Samara likes to be called Sammy, so.
Right, but anyway, where were we? How long?
Yeah, the movie. She likes to watch.
Yeah, when she's not working, because she's a hard-working nurse.
Yeah, nurse
She
practitioner.
works 12-hour shifts, 3 or 4 days a week, and
Unbelievable.
I hate that. I'm hoping to make a really big movie and make a lot of money someday, so she don't have to work anymore,
Oh.
and she can travel around with me when I do my movie.
Absolutely.
That's my ultimate goal.
Yeah, it's always good to have goals.
I love
Always
it.
good.
I love having
Well,
goals.
we are about out of time, so I just want to say thank you to Johnny Ray
Thanks for
Gibbs,
having
and
me.
please check out IMDb. Look at all his credits. I want to remind you of Eureka Road coming up January 23rd.
23rd,
Thank
23rd at
you.
the River Oaks Theater.
River Oaks Theater, and please check him out. Also, if you are a public relations manager, anything like that, get a hold of us, because I've got some amazing friends and actors who are looking for. So they're out there and they're needing. So we appreciate you. Bye, guys.
Marshal, I found him. About 4 miles back that way in the canyon. Maybe we'll stop here for the night and catch him tomorrow.
I've got to be sure it's his body in the grave. He cautioned me, actually advised me to revisit the grave to make sure that body we killed is still in the hole. There's something else. He paid for his drink with that, letting me know that he's coming back tomorrow night for his change. Look at that message. Haunted, isn't it?
Hi, Billy.
Well, if it isn't my favorite sheriff. Shouldn't you be out trying to find a man with a guillotine? Live at the end of the street, second house from the left. People call me Mad Max. I don't know why, but if you ever need anything, come see me. I'll be glad to help you out. Hello. I dare you to show your ugly mug in my bar again. You got that? He knows I'm home, Loma. He knows.
Who knows?
Guy we killed last week.
What was your part in his death?
Big Fish and the Vulture are dead. He killed them both.
Maybe you'll spend time in prison where the ghosts couldn't reach you.